Hello everyone, welcome back. We got two beauties behind me. We got our DRC that's been our primary this year, and this is the Maxim we ran last year that was orange. Now it's all nice and tealed up in the NBL colors. Anyway, I made this video in the winter sometime. It was snowing. I put all our brake kit on this car, and it's nothing to do with bleeding because we weren't at that stage. I just put it all on the right way. Hopefully you can learn something from it. These are some common stuff that I've heard from the Wilwood guys, that they see guys just not being attentive with some of this stuff I go through. Like they said, we were pretty bang on straight away, but I've even learned some things too. So it's great to have a technical partnership with them. Anyway, here's how you install your brakes. We've got some great care packages here. Oh, Jesus. Got some rod end supply, care package, and 3 sets of brakes from Wilwood. So yeah, huge thanks to them. We're going to put the front brakes on today. I put the master cylinder in already. Here it is in here. But yeah, it's exciting putting brakes on. I've ran the brake lines already as well. Little tips on how to know you have it fitted up right. Some would think it's common sense, but I've seen common sense ain't so common sometimes. So I always like looking at stuff people put out too, because I learned something. And I'll walk through this and I know I'm doing it right because I'm telling you how to do it. All right, so firstly, I'm gonna update our front rotor here. It's probably not too bad. It's not the worst I've ever seen, but you can see it's got some grooves in it. Chuck a newie on, thanks to our friends at Wilwood. Do that. This is a good one. It's got Nylox on it. That's cheating. Flash, right? Comes with the purple pads. Apparently the pads we were using aren't made anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Probably why they always wore out.
I think the purple pads are the same. Well, you're wrestling it. All right, so I have the hub installed. Obviously, hub, free spinning, no play, and there is a locking tab. Oh God, I did this up too tight. So yeah, we're got the hub back on. Spins, no play. And 2 locking tabs in. They do locate to a hole that slides onto a keyway. So that's pretty much putting a sprint car hub on. Now I have this nifty tool. Check this out, I found. We found this when we were cleaning out the toolbox. Chuck it on. You don't have to nip it up too tight because the O-ring sort of locks them on anyway. The next thing is our caliper mounting. So I have the one box in here. Front caliper here. This is a very important thing. I see a lot of people's, the pad engagement. It's pretty dangerous if you don't do this right, actually. The kit does come with a mount because I have this mount on here. I didn't want to take it apart. Don't fix what ain't broke. My guys just rebuilt all this, so. So I usually like to dummy the pads in there, so that'll be my next job. This is an aluminum rotor. Far out. You can tell I've been here too long. This is an aluminium rotor. An aluminum rotor, which takes 150-9766. Purple pads, pretty easy to remember. So I like to put the pads in just to check my gaps, my height. I like to check my height, and I'm trying to do this one-handed, so bear with me. See if we're good on the height. We look pretty damn good right there. They run on the same diameter. That won't focus. Now, to protect the fitting, we run a guard on it. It won't be in far out. This is hard to do one-handed. Alright, now we have the guard goes here. So you get the gist. Guard goes here, protects our fitting from rocks. I like to run either a 45 or a 30 out of that. Try not to go too crazy, but I like usually a 45 upright. Okay, this is on the Silver Crown car. That's a little different though. The Silver Crown runs a little different than a sprint car. Not too much different, but. So that's tightened up. You can just see right along there. How beautiful is that? Push the pads up against it even. That's absolutely perfect right there. We've got a bit going on. We've got the rear end in. I couldn't video that because I was just helping get it in. But we guys have this neat little stand here. We've got a fresh axle in it. Neat little stand that just sort of locks in from both sides. Jimmy's pretty happy with that rear end. He put that rear end together too, so feels great. I've done a couple that I haven't heard blew up, and I know the one in my dad's car I did. I just put a new ring and pinion in, cleaned it up and shimmed it, and it wasn't anything crazy. But yeah, we got the getting the rear brake in. Let's have a look. We've got both our Wilwood. This is what was on the car, which isn't in bad shape. It's had a bit of heat, it's not the worst rotor I've ever seen. There's no pitting in it. It's actually a pretty good rotor still. The mount don't move. Mount no shake. But one big difference they've improved on the Wilwood carriers, more or less. You can see it's distinctly different. The whole 8 nuts, it's like a Red Devil thing, I guess. I've seen that on them too. This only has 5 3/8 bolts. It's way better in terms of these just come loose all the time. You had to it was just a maintenance item. You just had to make sure they were tight all the time, but the studs can wander out. These little jet nuts can wander out, whereas if you have just 3/8 bolts with jet nuts, like high tensile bolts, it's really not going to be it's really going to be a lot more sturdy. So for me as an engineer, that makes a lot of sense. You're just reducing complexity of the assembly, and you're sort of beefing it up too with the bigger bolts. So keen to fit it all up. Let's see how it fits up. Point of service. I'm just going to get everything loose on here. I got these little nice 5/16 bolts. Good pile on me. And T-nut as well. And rotor carrier. This is a setup bolt through the back side. Hard thing with the floating, man, you have to get 2 in before it even engages. So this is the way we have to do it. Bolt and washer, like that side, and through on the nut there. All right, so now I have my bolts put in. They're just hand tight at the moment with red Loctite. It says Loctite 271, but that's all I have. So, but next we have to convert it to 220 inch-pounds for the bolts for it to be torqued up in a star pattern. I should have known, because it's the same as a fine thread is 18 foot-pounds. So we're going to torque these to 18 foot-pounds in a star pattern. Torqued up. Another thing, I saw it centralized it doing my tightening pattern, but it's good just to check with your T-nut if they're in the center. If we're going to focus on you, we're going to check with these calipers to check our T-nut clearances. I should have done this before I tightened it, but anyway. 3 thou difference, 80, 2 thou. So I got 81. Focus. 83. 82. We find the truing tool or whatever it was, but I mean, we're pretty close, within a couple thousandths of an inch being completely true, and sprint car ain't gonna notice that anyway. The tires dampen it so much. Next part we're putting on. So I want to run it like this. Oh, I've got this clocked wrong. Logos, 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 logos. I'm gonna do it to the factory spec because that's the right thing to do. But I want to put this Allen stud in. I know, I think tightening would be a lot easier because you only have to do it from one side, but I'm gonna do what the pack comes with. So we check out in here, it's slotted. So that means we can slide on the axle, which you really couldn't do before. They had the provisions for it, but it really didn't work nice. And we have a brand new axle in this car, so it's gonna be super easy. There you go, it's all hand tight. Ready to slide on the axle. So if you're not lucky like me at the moment with a fresh axle in here, you might have these knurled up. Just file them down and the thing should slide on. Going to get my friend Zach to help me. $8, Zach. Do you want me to grab the other side, or all we gotta do is kick it over the other side of that? Did you get it?
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Have fun with your sim racing.
I can't drive that force, so getting out of rookie is pointless.
Yeah, well, lots to learn.
Dude, and those 1600s, you don't spin tires. Hardly. These, barely on the gas.
Well, they're probably cold tires.
Oh no, even when I did a couple laps just doing burnout.
Oh, well, that doesn't help either. But oh dear. Pretty much gonna leave that there for now. I haven't started, but I want to get the brake mount in next, which goes into those two holes. I'm gonna tighten it up to get it square on the bosses of those bosses in there, and then take one out one by one and Loctite it. Dad always said that's plenty, so 2 threads. Chuck that one back in. I'm gonna try it at 50. Because it's a tie bolts, I'm gonna try these. I'm gonna try torque these up at 50 and see if I can go further. It's so hard to do. I can't do this holding with one hand, it's gonna twist off. Imagine I do it to 60 foot-pounds. Also, I didn't tie wire those bolts purely for the fact I can't do it well. And this is what come off the car and we never have them loose, so my theory is red Loctite. Just check them every now and then maybe. It is recommended you do tie wire the two of the bolts together around the hub. So next up, I've got a caliper on. I've already screwed it up with some brake fluid from this old fitting, but I nipped these up pretty much because we had that slotted hole, remember? So nip that up just so we can move it wherever we need to. Next is getting your caliper on centered, rotor centered, and making sure the caliper is spaced out enough and in line with the rear, which we got ours pretty bang on here. So that's bang on right there. So I'm gonna make sure the rotor's centered and lock it up. What are you doing from the top? I think you do it from the top. I used to do it from the bottom, but obviously you don't do it from the bottom anymore. It's centered. You see we got a little bit that side, a little bit that side. Center of the rotor runs down in center. Pad square. And these little buggers are a bit of a pain to get into. Those 2 little lock nuts, just get them as tight as you can. I did it up evenly. I could only get in the backside with a swivel. I might not be as smart as other people, but I can only get in there with a swivel. Swivel 1/4 inch. Extension, long socket, 5/16. I couldn't really show it because my head was in there. But yeah, just get them evenly. There's no torque setting on those. There is a torque setting on the rear. These have a torque setting and that has a torque setting. They're both 30 foot-pounds. Me, just as an engineer, likes torque settings. Like, it's good to probably write that down just for your maintenance program. Just check your bolts on your brakes. Like, people often check them. Who knows, they might be over tightening, but it's better to be tight than not tight. But so I've hooked the brake line up. It's a little long. I got a lot of length in here. So I guess I'll just ask the boys what they want to do. Like, it should be, it's not bad to have it long, but that's just a bit too long. I can pull this back more, but then you're gonna get too far back, and I don't know, we might just run a shorter line here. But anyway, brakes are together. Now let's get on the bird cage. You need this spacer with a lip inside of it. Should sit nice and square. This might be a little too much, but anyway. Should just slide nicely on. Beautiful. Look at that, straight on. There you have it. That's how to install your brakes. We need to bleed this car again, actually. We've done a little bit of stuff to this car just to get a little bit better. We eventually have to bleed the brakes on this car too, but this just has all the old stuff on it. This is gonna be sort of like the backup battle car. But anyway, hope you learned something. Definitely want to do this again. We can, if I have to change brakes over, like I've changed all the program in the 98 as well. If you want to check it out, go onto the Wilwood's website. They have all the stuff. Australian guys, anywhere really that's a parts store will have Wilwood stuff. And in America as well, your local parts, sprint car parts supplier usually stocks Wilwood as well. It's, yeah, common because it's probably one of the most widely used products. Any questions, drop below, I'll answer them for sure. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe. Let's get back to racing.